So I want to thank everybody for all the support. It's just 7 subscribers now. I really want you guys to spread the word. I know I said my next video would be about web formulas, and I also am planning on doing a tutorial. This video is kind of an intermediary video. It's just a quick showcase of my suit interface. So this video is just going to be a quick showcase of something that I want to show to you guys. So let's go. So this is the screen of my suit interface. So it has 4 options: audio record, conditions, air, and equipment. And at the bottom it indicates the spider sense. And you'll see that the spider sense says it's on, and it also says when motion is detected. When motion is detected, a relay will turn on. And what I don't have yet is something that plugs into that relay that vibrates or does something that I can sense. So this is probably as much of a tutorial this video will be. I'm just going to show me building the thing that vibrates when the spider senses something. So I'm going to use this motor with a weight on it that's off-centered so that it vibrates. And I actually am still experimenting with this, so I'm going to show you plugging it into my power supply, how it vibrates. It seems to be operating pretty well at 1.7 volts, so a AAA battery should work alright, I think. So what I have is I have the motor, and then I have the AAA battery case. So I'm gonna try to get some of the solder off of the motor, because it's an old motor, in order to just stick one of the battery pins right in there. Now I'm just gonna solder it together so that it won't come apart, and I'm gonna trim it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the male power jack that plugs directly into the female power jack from my relay, and I'm just going to connect that to the rest of the circuit. And that's pretty much it. Now we come to the part of the video that's the actual showcase of the device. So this is the entire circuit. I soldered the board myself, and it's basically just on top of an Arduino. So I programmed this on my computer. And this is probably one of the coolest things I built. Got a screen, and you've got the spider sense notifier thing connected to the power jack. You can unplug it and plug whatever else you want into that relay, so that you can customize the relay, whatever you want spider sense to do. So whatever you want. I'm gonna plug it back in, and it's powered by a 9-volt battery, and the battery pack has a switch on it. I lost the cover to the battery pack, but I'll find it eventually. And this is the cable that leads to the back section. The back section is mounted on a piece of neoprene that goes over my shoulders. There are 2 things on the back section. There's the air release valve, which is just a CO2 inflator like from my web shooter videos, except it's motorized with a servo motor. And then you've also got the PIR sensor, which is the spider sense sensor. And this cable can be, it's long enough to run my entire arm, and you can unplug it from the board in case you don't want to use the back section for some reason, and plug it back in, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so I want to show you one more thing before we turn it on. You saw how it had an audio record option. Well, this is the microphone that records the audio, and all the audio is recorded onto an SD card in actually a text file format, and I'll show you how I do that later in this video. So there's the SD card, 8 gigabytes, and there's a slot just under the screen. Okay, so now is the time when we turn it on. So turn it on, screen lights up, also LED light on the microphone. whole spider suit interface logo that I programmed in there. And the motor comes on because of the spider sense, but you can see spider sense is on by default, so you can see it vibrating whenever the motion detected blue letters come onto the screen. So I'm gonna unplug that because I don't want to deal with that right now. It only has 3 buttons, up, down, and what I call start, which is really more of an enter, but I kind of like video games sometimes, so I made it called start. So now I'm just going to show you the screen. So this is the screen, and as you remember, it has 4 options: audio, record, and I'm going to show you conditions now. So that basically just shows you the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius. It's a little below room temperature in here. And then we have air, which actually is actually connected to that air release CO2 valve that you saw on the back section. So if I press the start button, the CO2 valve opens. It's a pulley system with an IMA of 2 because it's kind of hard to open. And to quit, you just press the down key, which is what I'm gonna do. And equipment is the option that leads to other options. You have relay empty, which is going to be an empty slot for a device that I might show later, and spider sense. So what relay does, if you click on that, it actually connects to the same relay that the vibration device is hooked up to. So in case you wanted to plug something else into that, you can see that just pressing this controls that relay by just pressing the start button. And then there's also an option to turn spider sense on and off, and then you can see spider sense is off. So the video went a bit longer than I wanted it to, but thanks for watching anyway. I'm open to suggestions on other superhero content that you'd like to see, whether it be about costumes or anything like that. So don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay amazing.